Hello and welcome back to Forza Horizon 5. And for 20 points in the winter of the Apex All-Star Series, we've got ourselves for 20 points the #1 Evolution Time Attack. I say it that way because the full car has a really long name. Now, it's an interesting car with a very interesting history, but I'll go ahead and dive into that in just a little bit. This thing is built on the base of a 2005 Mitsubishi Evolution Lancer, which does look pretty cool, but as you can see, it has been heavily modified at the front, at the sides, and has a massive gaping wing on the back, as well as a huge rear splitter. Going to the inside has been completely changed around. We've got ourselves some pretty cool racing seats and a pretty cool racing wheel with a very old style digital dashboard. As for the stats of this thing, it's got 949 brake horsepower, 703 foot-pounds of torque, all while weighing 2,770 pounds with a 2.24 litre engine. And now we're going to go ahead and take a listen. So here we are now in the upgrade shop. The first thing we're doing is going straight over to conversion to see what we can do with this thing. We can only perform a drivetrain swap from all-wheel to a rear wheel. There is no sort of chance of engine upgrade to this thing whatsoever, aside from all the stuff that we have over here, which is just a single turbo, and installing it takes us up to nothing. There's no difference. All we can do is just add anti-lag. Okay. Honestly thought we could have added a little more power, but hey, I guess that's Forza for you. As for aero, I think we've kind of covered that already, but going to tyres, this thing starts out on, I believe, no, not even full slick. Does this start out on, oh, it starts out on semis. Okay, we can, of course, take it up to full slick apparently, which is going to be very interesting indeed. But, well, we're not the ones doing the tuning, if I remember rightly. Because it kind of is just nothing to tune on this, at least not for race spec, so I guess we're going to race it stock. So now we go over to the paint shop. We've got nothing in advance, surprise, and there's only one manufacturer paint colour, but we can go ahead and paint this thing in pretty much any other colour we wish, which means we can go ahead and make it sort of, I guess, a kind of bright purple, indigo, violet kind of. Oh my god, that is bright. And then we can make it even brighter. Oh wow. So the full name of this car is the #1 Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution Sierra Enterprises Time Attack, which is about 7 to 8 different words for this thing. And honestly, I think it might be one of Forza Horizon 5's longest car names. So if you know anything longer than that, go ahead, let me know in the comments, because I think this is the longest car name, but I might be wrong. And away we go. I've made a couple upgrades to this thing myself, namely some much better tyres, because I tried to test run of this and it did not go well, and everybody decided just to punt me off the side of the road, and I couldn't do anything about it. But we are taking this thing for a little bit of a hill climb, and hopefully it's going to do pretty well indeed. I've added a little bit of anti-lag as well, just to honestly make this thing look cool. But we've got some good tyres. We've made it a little bit wider on the tyres as well. But let's go ahead and see. That's not a good start. Now, this thing competed in a lot of time attack events, and I believe in one such event that it took part in, which sadly I can't remember the name of, but I'm sure at least somebody will let me know in the comments, it ended up with a second place, which was actually pretty dang cool, and I believe why there's the P2 sticker on the front window of this thing. But now let's try and see if we can upgrade that from P2 to P1 by just racing and hoping we can do well. Right, so a bit more of the twistier areas we go. We're not quite at the most twistiest section of track yet, but we are not too far off of that. And I've just missed that again. Oh my god, today has not been a fantastic day for racing for me. Especially when I tried out Horizon Open earlier and then got turned into a massive pinball by literally everybody there. Honestly, Horizon Open scares me. Okay, now we go into the much twistier section of track. It is high-speed twisty turns as well, which is very interesting indeed. To go ahead and see how this thing can handle it. So far, it's done pretty well indeed. The upgraded tyres were a major upgrade to this thing, and definitely very much worthwhile. We've got a couple cars ahead of us. We've got a Lamborghini Diablo GTR, which we're going to try and get past if we can, but this thing is a little bit on the understeery side, which is honestly a little bit of a shame. But let's see, come on, can we at least get past them? We can. A slight bounce off the wall, but the finish line is just up here. I don't think we're going to be able to make up any more places, no matter how hard we try. And across the line with rather disappointing, to be quite honest, 4th place in the time of 2 minutes 37. Okay, so after what is honestly a bit of a disappointing result in that race, we are back over here at the upgrade shop, and we're going to change out the tyres for, where are they? Where are the good old ones we want? There we are, drag race tyre compound. We've already made them wider, so that shouldn't be too much of an issue. And we've also improved the brakes, but we are going to go ahead and change the suspension to off-road springs and dampers. And then I think we're also going to go ahead and dive into the drivetrain and see, we'll go ahead and put a 6-speed transmission in this thing and also upgrade the differential as well. So with those upgrades installed, we've still got 950 brake horsepower, but we're down to 2,763 pounds. So this thing is a little heftier. So honestly, I don't really know how this thing's going to perform, but I hope it's well. Although the only annoying thing now is I've got to sit here and tune 6 more gears, which is going to be interesting, because I don't usually tune gears on the drag tunes, because especially recently we've had our mechanic Mac be able to make us some fantastic tunes. But I think the fact that there's not much to upgrade on this thing is a little bit disappointing. And of course, since the Aero is tunable, we're going to go ahead and throw that all the way down to speed, because we're going to need about as much of that as humanly possible if we want to make this thing a somewhat efficient drag car. But I don't know how well it's going to do, to be honest. Well, we've taken that long that the sun is starting to set, so we need to hurry up a lot with this thing. But let's go ahead and get a little bit of a wheelie check. Do we get anything? No, we really don't. That's kind of been the theme of all of the cars, but I believe this thing has probably just got that much aero that it's impossible to get anything from it. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and take this thing over to the drag strip and see how we do. Speaking of, here we are now on launch control, and away we go. Let's go ahead and see what we get out of this thing. Hopefully we get something pretty cool, because it's still got a fair bit of power. It is a little bit heftier, but it's just cool to see this thing moving at such a stupid speed. Let's go ahead and see what we've got through the camera at 173.86, which is not, well, it is kind of bad really. And then off the end of the motorway, or runway, sorry, I should say, it's 189, but the best part is at least we have some good brakes. To be honest, I think that's a first. So now we're back to the upgrade shop once again. We're going to go ahead and put this back onto its stock tyres. We're keeping the tyre width because we are very much going to need it. And then going over to a platform and handling, we're going to go ahead and put that back to stock, which is actually race suspension, which is pretty cool indeed. And we're going to go ahead and find out what this thing's top speed is. But before we do that, here's this week's Forzathon shop. We have got ourselves the Ferrari FX from 2005, the green wrestling mask, the green wrestling outfit, the Apollo Intensa Emoción, which is honestly a pretty good car, and the La Cucaracha, or that one car horn, which sounds a bit like this. Well, that's not bad, is it? Now going over to here, we've got ourselves the Horizon Super Wheel Spin alongside the regular Horizon Wheel Spin as well. And now let's get out to the motorway. Alrighty, here we are now over at the edge of the motorway, so let's go ahead and get ourselves onto launch control, and away we go. Let's go ahead and see how the Sierra Enterprises car deals with a very, very long straight road, because apparently, even though it's a time attack car, this thing really did not do well hill climbing, which is, honestly, I'm really disappointed. I'm genuinely disappointed. I thought that thing would actually be really, really good, but apparently not. For drag racing, its top speed is honestly horrendous, but then again, it's a time attack car, so I kind of expected it for that one. But let's go ahead and keep going and see how it does with top speed. And out of the speed zone at 202.49, we are still accelerating, but we're nowhere near as quick as I was hoping this thing's going to be. But let's go ahead and see if the downhill and speed camera can change my mind. I doubt it, but we can find out, can't we? Speaking of the speed camera, there it is, 203.18, which is a little quicker than we had on the speed zone. Going downhill, 206, 207, 208 even, which is not too bad at all. But, well, actually no, who am I kidding? 208. Out of this is, well, it'd be decent for the everyday road car, but for a time attack car, you know, 950 brake horsepower, I genuinely, honestly, would have thought this thing would be quicker, but oh well. However, there is one last test for this thing, and while it's not good at much else, hopefully here it can shine, because we're of course taking this thing drifting. We're going into the drift zone, keeping it very, very sideways indeed, a little bit onto the dirt, but it's got four-wheel drive, we'll be fine. And out the other side at 40,631 points. Even though it's a time attack car, it seems to be better sideways. And now here we are going back the other way for round number 2. Let's go ahead and try and keep it as sideways as we possibly can, which this thing does not want to do going back the other way, but we got ourselves 28,787 points. I think part of that probably might have been down to me on that last run, I'm not going to lie, but 40,000 on the first run going back the other way was still pretty cool. But that is the number 1 Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution Sierra Enterprises time attack car. It's got a stupidly long name and not much performance, I'm not going to lie. But yeah, I hope you have enjoyed that as a video on this thing. Should you go ahead and get it? Well, I mean, it's good for a collector's piece, and those that know how to, you know, really tune, and those that take time to tune this thing could probably get something good out of it. But I've not exactly been able to do anything. I don't know where they're going, but apparently they're getting somewhere very, very quickly. But honestly, I'd say it's not too bad, but it could be much, much better. This thing had a lot of potential. Even if Forza just added maybe one engine swap for this thing, then I think we probably could have gotten somewhere, but with the stock engine it's got on this, it is definitely missing a lot of stuff indeed. But in the meantime, thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you found it entertaining, and I will see you all in the next one. Like, share, comment, subscribe, all that cool stuff. Thank you very much for watching. Tech out. See ya. Yeah, I think I'll stick to my Subarus, thanks.